Assalamualaikum and greetings. My name is I-RoLE2023 and I am pleased and ever to guide you through my I-RoLE project today. I have decided to publish a digital travel guidebook entitled From One Heart to Another. Now, you might be wondering why that title instead of plenty other tourism related choices. As stated from the book cover itself, I wanted people to know that despite our different geographic separated by borders, Malaysia, we are truly an inseparable nation connected through one heart. Alright, now that we grasp the emotional context, let's dive in further. Right off the bat, we have this conversation between these people that are traveling to Pahang, where one of them asks for a background check. That's when, from one heart to another, comes to the rescue. Unlike this lengthy and hard to understand guidebook on market now, I created this book with the intention of providing a minimalist travel guidebook which contains useful information that could be used by the readers. Although there is no denying that people have easier access to information, reading from too many sources could sometimes cause more harm than good. For example, you could fall for a scam, but in most cases, people usually obtain wrong information since these tourism websites rarely got updated regularly, especially after the pandemic. So, what is this digital travel guidebook that I am doing? All right, let's break it down. Guidebook, including any travel guide, is described as every publication which provides tourists with destination information. It provides closure about a country and used globally by either first time tourists or avid travelers. In today's globalization era, these guidebooks are being published digitally, which somehow allows the genre of travel literature to reach the younger audiences easier. Even so, most of them in the market are too lengthy. With the attention span of, I believe, now rising X and Y generations, a 10-page detailed history of a country could be a possible challenge for them to tackle. This product of mine hoped to provide simple yet informative book that could be used by people of all ages while also aiming to improve the level of comprehensiveness amongst readers through travel guide. With the certain states of Malaysia being my inspiration, readers are offered with basic yet important knowledge about a state, all of which are believed to be necessary in a travel guidebook. The process of creating this precious book started with revising overall outline for LG120 program to ensure that my project is relevant with what I've learned throughout the semester. I had gone through past projects for a clear understanding of what the outcome should be, and it had led me into creating my first draft with new media and desktop publishing being the project nature. I had gone through few professional meetings throughout the journey and then I began designing. Still, more literature reviews had to be done in order to make sure that I am still in track. And before actually settling down on the design, I was actually contemplating on what platform should I use in order to avoid copyright issues since I need to use some of the illustrations too. After giving it a few thoughts, I decided to go with the good old Canva, one of the most well-known graphic design platforms out there. They also stated that users may freely use their sources without fear of copyright infringement, hence why both of my poster and product were created through this platform. Finalizing the contents of the topics finalizing the contents or topics of the book was very challenging since it kept changing from time to time because I thought of whether this would be good enough for readers to immerse themselves in because that's what we want as a author. But after some readings and asking around for opinions, I figured this product would actually do well on its own despite my doubtfulness of its potential. Despite the satisfying outcome, I cannot deny the fact that there is indeed limitations and problems that occurred, especially during the final phase of completing this book. I couldn't find software that were exactly student friendly when it comes to my first trial to convert it into a flipbook. Plus, it was way out of budget, and luckily, Canva had a built in flipbook converter. Even so, it only gave you like five free trials, so I had to ensure perfect contents before actually importing them into becoming a flipbook. I burst my way out through the third trial and continued with writing projects as abstracts and poster. Now let's talk about the result and discussion. As shown from the bar chart and poster, this is a comparison collected from respondents between the ages of 18 and 25. They are given two travel guidebooks, one which contain long and detailed writing, while the other is mine, short but informative writing. The first and second figure shows contrast when it comes to understanding the level of short and long text. While 4% of the bar diagram characterized short text comprehension as inadequate, the remaining 96% of respondents indicated a favorable interpretation of short text. Contradicting to short text, poor level of comprehensiveness increases to 24% for long text. 68% of respondents perceive long text well, and just 2% of these respondents actually understand lengthy text. The contrast between these two results suggests that most individuals comprehend material better when it is simplified. In addition, the chart comparing the preference for brief, informative text with lengthy through text are fully dominated by the former. The following bar chart compares respondents' opinions on concise, informative writing against lengthy, extensive writing in greater detail. As opposed to the preceding bar chart, this section describes a paragraph to 8 respondents in comprehending the questions. Each respondent has a reasonable or great grasp of concise yet pertinent writing. The previous statement gives additional evidence in support of one of the author's objectives of publishing a simple yet helpful digital travel guidebook as opposed to a voluminous one. 24% of respondents to the second graph bar in this section believe that complex text is unlikely to be understood. Let's talk business. Because From One Heart to Another is targeted towards open audiences, I believe it is a product with promising entrepreneurial potential compared to the other competitors. I like to think that the minimalistic aspect of this book plays a major role in paving its entrepreneurial opportunities. Also, since this product of mine contains common state dialects, it could be counted as new knowledge for some readers because it differs from the standard history development writing of most authors out there. After some deliberation, it was agreed that From One Heart to Another would be sold digitally via a purchase order form. Nonetheless, the marketing strategy focused on those aged 13 to 40, as Kemper et al. In 2014 discovered that young adults outperform older adults in terms of overall reading duration and text comprehension. To begin, a few snippets from the book were offered in the Google form, and interested customers were asked to leave their phone numbers. After receiving varied feedback, I had chosen to sell the product for 8 ringgit, considering the number of pages, human energy, and cost needed for the project poster. The payments were simultaneously collected on January 29th, 1 week after the book was released. Stated above are the evidence of purchase, which makes me believe that this book stands a chance somewhere in the market. Other than that, there is also a possibility for this digital travel guidebook to be promoted towards educational institutions, especially schools that wish to attract more interest in both history and English subjects among the students. The colorful illustrations also play a part towards promoting it to the students. All in all, after those long explanations, which I hope provides you with beneficial understanding of my product, prove that sometimes all people need to understand a writing better is simple yet informative content. There are no such thing as short writings as not beneficial because it's simple. I also like to stress on how From One Heart to Another achieved its objective to be used as a medium to improve one's English proficiency. The reason could vary given this generation's attention span, high time consumption, and quick thought process, which makes it more permanent for them to choose this product to improve their understanding better. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day.